Non-duality is originally an Eastern spiritual concept. It's the idea of yin and yang, that what we perceive to be two totally different things, two opposite ends of a spectrum, are actually the exact same thing. It's part of one system. So currently it's winter in California. It's pretty cold these days, and if we look at it from a perspective of duality, then we would see the cold weather as something separate from hot weather, whereas the non-dual perspective would see cold weather and hot weather both existing in the same system. It takes a look at the entire system rather than the individual components of it. So if you're interested in concepts like growth, long-term, sustainable business, giving value, it helps to understand this concept because it helps us to see the big picture of what reality is actually like. And although it originates from ancient Eastern concepts, it's being supported more and more with things like systems theory, metaphysics, as a more big picture way of viewing reality. For example, the Big Bang is a scientific perspective that sees all this division and difference as one system, like the result of one event or one thing. So why is this important for growth or business? Well, we tend to think of things as we're either growing or we're not. We're either giving or we're taking. So how we have to shift it is to view growth and like constraint as the same thing, or we have to view giving, like generous giving, and selfish taking as also part of the same system. The trap, the thing that holds us back, let's say we want to keep growing and we want to engage in this virtual cycle of growth, and we can't see how having times of non-growth, of constriction, and we don't see how that plays into the system. So therefore we start to avoid results or actions or behaviors that beget constriction. And as a result, we never get to complete the loop of growth, constriction, back to growth, to constriction, back to growth. So it's like the weather. It's like the weather here. If there was no winter, we would never experience summer and never experience winter and never experience summer again. When we reject winter, when we say we don't like the cold, we only want to stay in the warmth, then we're never able to have another loop. We break off that loop and prevent it from moving on to the next loop. So we essentially disengage with time, temporal events, because in a loop, it's going to be time that causes the other thing to come around. So back to growth. If we are growing and we reject periods of constriction, just like a farmer rejecting periods of harvesting, then there would be no, or sowing, then there would be no plants to reap. So try to see things in a non-dualistic way. Just try to see, when you see two ends of a spectrum, how they're part of one system. So in politics, this is very common. It defines politics. We see left and the right, and the problem comes with that, seeing that division. The issues arise because we try to engage in a way of labeling and engaging in division. Whereas the opposite, the alternative approach of a more non-dual perspective would be to see both sides as part of the same system. And when we do that, then we get things like forward movement. We get a conversation going, we get communication. Both sides become one, and as a part of a larger system, we're able to make progress. In growth, it is not only those good days where you're hustling and you're able to focus, you feel like you're on top of the world, but it's also those days of taking time off, of learning to enjoy the moment. And being unable to do that will hurt your growth in the long run. You won't be able to complete the next loop, the next evolution, the next phase of your growth if you reject the other aspect of non-duality. So this video is kind of out there. It's not like my normal typical stuff of more a rational approach to things, supremely theoretical, but I hope you see the idea, and I hope it kind of can help you kind of shift the perspective you have on stuff, whether it's growth, whether it's business or marketing or whatever. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and thanks for your attention.